In we go. And this time around, Artie is going to use the yellow color, not something that he has done so far. I think every single game he was blue, but this time around he's gonna be like yellow. But I have to say I commend the players for matching cold colors with cold colors and then warm colors with warm, having that blue plus purple combination versus the red and yellow to make it easier for us.
I'm disappointed. Personally, I think blue goes phenomenally well with yellow. Beautiful. And then red and purple actually, like on the wheel, are close together. Just, you know, it depends whether you want contrasting colors or complementaries. All right, anyway, enough the style points. Let's talk a little bit about this. Well, let's get down to the beef. Clearly, there is a little bit of an issue here. The reason why I think Artie's not playing as blue is because LucifroN took it.
Well,
there you go, guys. There's already drama before we're in.
At least you're going to have the standard blue French Knights, so it doesn't feel awkward. We're also going to have the red longbows, so everything is where it should be. But Donut is going to have yellow knights, and yellow French knights actually look really cool, so I'm not disappointed about that. I think yellow might be the best color for French when you look for style points.
Nah, I quite liked Jess's pink. Pink knights were quite nice. I'm a big believer in pink. I like purple on the Mongols as well. I don't know, it kind of... Who's the best Civ for green, do you think? I think it's Malians.
Ooh, Malians is a strong one. Yeah, Ottomans, I can't see that being a thing. I'm not against Mongols either. We have seen that in the hands of Mista today.
If anyone is wondering what the hell this conversation is, I think it's more engaging than commentating a Khan attacking villagers. Okay, that's my excuse for that one.
Well,
hello.
How about a tower rush here? And yeah, sure thing that Khan was harassing villagers, and it shouldn't matter that much unless you have more aggression following it up, and then you have a couple of damaged villagers. Now, Dawn is likely gonna pull that villager back, but still, that is gonna be a damaged villager for the future, and don't forget, LucifroN is in command of the French, so...
Oh, God. Did you just notice it? Look where his gold is. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, it's like this outpost. Okay, that's very ambitious from Angelica. Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Yeah, it's ambitious.
I mean, that's still quite ambitious, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Spearmen are kind of missing from this one, so...
Torch it. Yeah.
Oh, it's cancelled upon. Spearman late to the party over here. That tower is gonna be delayed.
That's what I was hoping for. Like, there's kind of this way up of like, what's too greedy, right? And this covers both gold veins, and it's further away. So without wheelbarrow, villages are less likely to come that far out because it means they're very far away from the town center.
Yeah. It also is relatively close to both of the stone mines from the French player. And don't forget, in a previous game that Artie has played, he has played with 2 TCs. So could also slow down expansion towards the second town center. Now, Artie has a ton of gold.
One, though.
Oh, look at that!
It's the short bow. Okay, hold on. Is it gonna work though? Oh, that Villy. Oh, no. They get away. They get away. The spears are gonna force this off. Remember, this is no wheelbarrow for Butzer. If he chases this, he might die. But he will buy enough time for Artie. I love the fact that Butz is sacrificing, and Artie will also claim a scalp. That villager is going to the realm of never again.
A beautiful micro, by the way, from Gentle Butzer. Like, he managed to save all villagers here, well, excluding the one that's gonna die because of the caster curse, but managed to take 2 villagers down for losing 1. That's a decent trade, especially if you consider that Angelica had to walk a lot here to get anything done, and this move out didn't really yield any resource from her.
No, and I love that from Artie. Get as much as possible, boys. We're never going to see it again. Just grab all the gold he can to get the initial knights out and then move everyone onto food and wood. And actually, we want to be a little bit careful there. Angelica was starting to stroll into TC range. And keep in mind that Angelica only went for 2 spears, so it's not too crippling. I love the fact that she stopped at 2, because remember, you're against an English player. Building more spears would be insanity.
Yeah, for sure it would be. It would also delay your feudal age, and am I seeing a Gur on berries? That tells me sadness.
Wait,
LucifroN, he has basically all the sheep collected from the map, but never really brought it back home, so Angelica is like, wait a minute, I didn't find any sheep. Neither did my opponents. Where are they? And LucifroN is like, I may have all of them.
No, this is a power play from Lucy. This is how he makes sure that his teammates follow his orders. He dangles them in front of Angelica and says, if you want some of these sheep, don't let your Khan die. Come back to base right now. All right? No more spears either. It's very smart. You know, some people, they work with the carrot. Some commanders, they prefer the stick.
And now LucifroN is going to start harassing out here. Now, the big difference here compared to many of the previous games is that the pro player has command of the French for actually both of the teams. And that increases their damage potential quite massively. When the apprentice player has it, it's still a dangerous civilization, but pro players really have that ability to just manage 6, 7 small groups of knights in the raid left and right, so you can really maximize the effect of those knights. And so far, that's what we're seeing from LucifroN, and Don Artie is just forced to react. That aggression from Angelica delayed him just enough to buy a tiny bit of advantage for LucifroN.
He needs that advantage, right? Because it's that type of situation where the English-French should be a little bit better if you don't do summon early with the Mongols, at least in the first few minutes of feudal. I love the rush blacksmiths because what LucifroN's noticed is, you know, the villagers that had chip damage on them, mostly gone now. So he needs to make sure he's got that blacksmith so he can still do a 2-hit kill, one with the charge and then the follow-up sword. That will instantly take down a 50 health villager as long as you have the blacksmiths.
And right now, you see that Don Artie and Butzer are both kind of busy dealing with this night raid, and this is buying a tremendous amount of time for Angelica. Makes me wonder whether she's just gonna try to rush Castle Age and then join into the fun with Lancers. Don't forget, he's a powerful Mongol player. He's Platinum 1, and among the apprentice players, that's among the higher ranked ones. So she could be pretty proficient with Lancer raids once we get to Castle Age with the Mongols as well. So you gotta respect her ability to just sit back and chill, because she's going to use that time well.
She's going to slow down her timings though, right? Because she went into pastures due to someone else taking all the sheep. It's kind of unfortunate, really, because I think this is the type of situation where you can maybe get away with going to the deer for your base because of all the work LucifroN's doing here. Like, LucifroN is buying a crap ton of time. Love the scout snipe as well. He'll even get away without losing a single knight.
Yeah, great value out there. Beals away all the knights, and then there is just no scout out there for Don Artie. Butzer still has his own, but that's not really scouting them either, so they're kind of blind as well on what Angelica is doing. And look at that formation shuffle.
That micro, that was beautiful. Yeah, shifts the injured ones further away. And notice the Lancers are gone now, so you can turn around. They won't have the charge, and he gets the chivalry. Like, he could actually turn around and probably kill a knight if he catches Artie not looking. It's all about timing here. And what? Hold the front door. Where are we going?
This could be
very
terrible.
Ambitious second TC.
Oh, that's terrible.
He's licking his lips. He's shaking his hips. He's ready to pounce, and he'll move straight in like a panther. Snipe one villager and make his way out. Who even peel one knight off, and the Khan actually baits Artie's knights away.
Oh,
okay, this is an outplay. This is a raw outplay right now. LucifroN is so on point.
Yeah, he's just playing marvelously over here. And look at that. He's going to send in one knight as well to the base of Butzer. He's doing a tremendous amount of damage. And, well, the only thing he's not doing well is distributing sheep across the map. Because apparently, despite taking all the sheep from the map, he's also now pretty low on those. So, I don't know, the sheep just vanished. Someone ate the lamb on the way back home.
Maybe they whamish because that was LucifroN's final death cry from his last opponent. He didn't wipe out Wham after all. But Wolves are going to go up. I mean, this is now you forfeiting. You know, you're role-playing World War II France right now. It doesn't feel good. You want to be more like Napoleonic-era France. But LucifroN has that title.
The thing is that second town center is accomplishing next to nothing, excluding being a villager factory. It's not securing pocket ecos, it's not securing map control. And if LucifroN ever went for a second town center, he would have a way better placement. So being able to just pin Don Artie inside his base and starve him out of resources is absolutely brutal here. In fact, Don Artie is already short on food inside his base.
Also, keep in mind, whenever Artie makes this type of choice, there is a sacrifice being made. It's the knight production. Just look at the difference in numbers now. It's not just the out micro. Now it's this difference of you going for a second TC. Lucy has double the knight count. And remember, he has chivalry. So he's going to keep sustained value over long periods. And once again, Artie gets baited in. Looks like he will back off just in time. But you see how much more difficult it is for him. Especially considering that Butzer doesn't really have a healthy force to come out and play with.
Yeah, Butzer was forced to go for quite a lot of spears.
What happened here? How did they sneak in unnoticed? Charge comes out. Oh, Lucy's just so on point again. Like, I don't think he even loses one knight. He just gets through. Shuffles him away.
And it's
the
starting
second
to
wave's
show the
coming
knight
in.
numbers.
Oh my god, he's baiting him into a fight. He's trying to... I love the confidence on LucifroN, man. It's why, like, I always get a smile on my face when I see him pick French. You know, some people are like, oh, that's all he ever does. Oh, he loves doing this too much. For good reason. This guy is styling right now.
Yeah, and it's showing on the battlefield. Donati has 4 knights against 9, and now spearmen are flooding in as well. And the thing is that Butzer had to go for a lot of spearmen to deal with the knight. He has 11 spears, only 6 longbows. So they don't really have much that deals with the spearmen from Angelica, which also is a factor still.
Yeah, and it's a light factor because Angelica clearly has different plans. I mean, if she had cheap, she'd probably be in Castle Age by now. But because she's on berries, it's been a bit slow. But if you look at the spear count, it's just 5, and the turnaround! Dude, it's like every time, it's just like LucifroN's yelling across the room at Artie going, are you paying attention? It's like, what's going on? Another knight dead? Oh man, I usually don't get this hype about the small exchanges, but like honestly, LucifroN's a top 3 micro in AOE4 in my opinion, and he proved it at Wololo. You know, sure he wasn't able to make grand finals, but especially like what impressed me in Wololo from him was his performance on water maps. I think he had the best micro of any player when it came to naval battles, and he's showing you that he can apply that to knights as well.
And it works really well because he's buying a lot of time for Angelica, who is now up to Castle Age with the step right out. We're going to see possibly Lancers here, or I would dare to say just full Archers with veterancy could even be sufficient here, because you already have the Knight number advantage. You just need something that deals with the Spearmen coming from Gentle Butcher and the Longbows, but could even be Men-at-Arms, could just be brutal full Lancer push. There's a whole lot of opportunities here for Angelica.
I think just smash Spears and Men-at-Arms and get Mangonels. Ooh, a little bit of a bold attempt at taking a fight there by Lucy. Obviously the first off-point micro, but yeah, I think it's just Spears and Mangonels like it would be the best play. But I think that's an archery range, right? So he's prepping the crossbows. I guess maybe they're expecting Butzer to tech up as well, because if we're being realistic about this, we haven't seen much participation in the early skirmishes from the English player so far.
That's true. Although he has been losing some eco here to the raids, so they might say, okay, he has taken enough damage to be slowed down to feudal. He was also on berries, which probably was seen by the knights, so they may not expect that rapid Castle Age, but as you said, they might be preemptively prepping for a Castle Age, possibly coming from the English player.
Love that read by Artie to go on the aggressive. It's like, why is LucifroN stopped pressuring me? But is he going for greed? And he catches him trying to go for it in the moment. So mining camp will not be a success, or at least go up, but that's just going to be torched down instantly. And Angelica with the most ambitious baby army maneuver arrow I've seen in a while. We'll use that to run back home. Needs to bring bigger forces to the fight than this.
Yeah, but she can wait. She can just chill and wait.
She's waiting a long time, though. She's not building anything still.
Men-at-Arms are slowly making it to the battlefield. I wonder how much stone she has, though, because we haven't really seen a lot of double production from her, so I would expect those Men-at-Arms to be coming out in batches in 2.
Okay. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah. She has got some batches too. She saw it pop up. There's 6 Men-at-Arms here. There it is. That's what we're looking for. The crossbows, don't be debated. They are there. They just appeared as well. 4 of them. They just magically appeared. This knight count is pretty scary, actually. I think LucifroN's built such a spooky lead. It's almost insurmountable at this stage, unless he A-clicks the ground and headbutt spears.
Yeah, and like they're now going to push this one back. Spearmen will have to stand and fight. Men-at-Arms closing distance, though. Wow. Crossbows also making an appearance, and the longbows aren't focusing the crossbows over here, so the value in those crossbows are massive.
Yeah, and it just feels like you're at a point where LucifroN's like, yeah, I actually can just A-click you. It doesn't matter anymore. There's not enough spears here. Just going to swarm through. He's going to lose a lot of knights in the process, but it will break their opponent's army. Artie's at least getting some decent value on the side, but the moment he hits these Men-at-Arms, value goes to 0. And so does his army count.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we still have 40 knights remaining for LucifroN. Donati is at 5, and what's more intimidating is that the English player has nothing and is still in feudal age, as compared to Angelica, who is now starting to flood the Mongol infantry. So this trade was very much worth it for LucifroN's team.
Yeah, and they can just snowball this now. Like, this is the beautiful thing about going Men-at-Arms crossbows, is just get siege engineering improved. Move to their base, build trebs, or build mangonels, do whatever you need to. And that looks a lot like panic and desperation. He knows he's doing it, but he doesn't feel good doing it, because this is not a game where Artie has map control like he has in previous series. And sure, the berries aren't that far away, but you really see how much that second TC next to his first has hurt him. Oh god, you've got found in the deer.
LucifroN is doing an unbelievable job with those raids. And it's not just that he's everywhere, shutting down all those resources. It's also how efficient he is with the knights. He barely lost any in these skirmishes. All the knights that he has lost essentially happened in that straight-up battle on the battlefield, and he is forcing Don Artie to pursue with 10+ knights, and in the meantime, just diving into the base. LucifroN is delivering a clinic here.
Yeah, you say it's not just that he's everywhere, but he is everywhere. This is absurd. The walls are going up. They're trying to stop this from happening, but look at this. I love this out of LucifroN. Pro scouts, more justifiable in team games, but also he just noticed how desperate Don Artie is. He's not going to give him any food to play towards. He's going to take it all home. Lucy's never going to have to convert to farms. And the moment that Artie has to, he is going to be miles behind Lucy. He already is miles behind. Look at the night count. 13 on one side, but 23 on the other.
If you were Angelica right now, you would consider dropping a couple of pastures inside the base of LucifroN. Because as you said, you want to make sure LucifroN never has to transfer to the farming eco. You just want to make sure you maintain that momentum. And LucifroN...
Oh, yeah, he's fine, though.
Yeah.
He's got 7 scouts, right? 7 scouts, they're bringing 350 per times 7. Like, I don't think you burn through that before you get
it's not urgent. It's just the fact that at some point you're going to have to consider that.
I get you. Yeah.
Just to make sure you don't slow down momentum.
I think they want to end the game before that, though. I wouldn't be surprised if LucifroN's going to tech up. And then when he's about 30 knights, he goes into raw bloodlines. Artie can't match that. He went 2 TCs. Yes. He's not getting value. Like, look at the idle eco in this game. This is insane to watch. And he even sent some back. He's like, please, charge these ones instead. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, LucifroN's going to be happy with that. And as you said, he's on the way to Castle Age. Eco discrepancy is minimal. The technology advantage is what's going to be massive. Both players in Castle Age for LucifroN's team in a second. The Mongol player ready to start picking up the relics here, possibly securing sacred sites. We even have Voss coming up for LucifroN to prevent counterattacks. Military Academy coming in for better production. Royal Bloodlines on the way as well. And Don Artie is going to try to match that, but they have taken so much damage here. And the raw knight numbers is probably what's going to swing it in the favor of LucifroN's team. Almost 2-to-1 ratio on the knights.
And, you know, you're saying, like, if I'm Angelica, I'll do this, I'll do that. If I'm Angelica, I say, bathroom break, I'm just going to, like, I'm going to make myself a sandwich or whatever. Like, I'm literally just going to go do whatever I want because Lucy's got this. Like, I have full faith in him right now if I'm Angelica. He hasn't given me a single reason to doubt his capability to juggle 2 players so far in 20 minutes of gameplay.
Or if you're Angelica, you can go extremely greedy. Like, whatever you want to do, just go super greedy because right now, LucifroN by himself is doing enough to slow down both players. If you're Angelica, you can contribute to the war effort with army, or you could just say, why not go for 2 more TCs, and then, in case LucifroN gets slowed down, I'm gonna be fully boomed, and we just snowball the game then. So, as you said, she can do whatever she wants, because LucifroN has done such a good job with slowing down the opponents initially, and then just slowly chipping away with the damage, and then building up this now pretty monstrous lead of knight numbers.
It's just a great balance between the two, right? Like, she contributed early, like a Mongol player should, and then she fell back to her own greed, and now she just kind of parks herself. Her role isn't to do more right now. Her role is to build up this death blob that walks in and sieges down the base. That time is coming, and that's what I mean. She could literally just go and make another one of her informative videos, and it'll be about LucifroN. Like, if LucifroN and Artie clash this many nights, who wins, right? And the answers might surprise you. When she comes back, she's going to finish the production up to, say, an army of 60 in size, and then she'll just build siege and end this game for them.
And, like, we are talking about the performance of LucifroN a lot here, which has been spectacular, especially if he wipes out this force of longbows. But we shouldn't underestimate... Oh,
here she comes.
Yeah, there it
She's
goes.
like, I'm not going to wait around for the siege. I see an opportunity to end the game right now. They're going to move in. Longbows are going to try to counter out against the crossbows, but so many knights. Spearman can't even hold for 5 seconds before flopping to the ground dead. A small contingent will go off to keep the English player busy, and now the rest of the army is going to move into idle Artie out.
And it's the timing advantage. Now you have Royal Bloodlines for LucifroN, not for Don Artie.
That's it.
And there it is.
And the crippling detail that mattered here, they both teched up at the same time. Once that happened, Angelica and LucifroN, they looked at each other, even though they're not in person, they were like, you know what this means, right? This means we end the game now. They move in, they take the GG, they will move on to the losers semifinals.
Indeed. What a game this was. Confident from LucifroN and Angelica, and we've been praising LucifroN for how good his micro was, but let's not forget that Angelica started this game with what was a rather underwhelming tower rush, but frankly, that set up LucifroN with a tiny bit of advantage over Don Artie, and that's the thing that LucifroN was able to use to just slowly build up an increasing numbers advantage on the Knights department. The tiny bit of delay on Don Artie from the Angelica, no matter how small it was what set up LucifroN with a tiny advantage that he could increase over time.
Yeah, and he increased it like phenomenally well. And it reminds me of the quote that I always remember from Marine Love. It's like, I feel if I get like a 3% advantage, I can snowball that. And that's why we always know him as a signature French player, because the French do kind of embody this, especially if it's mirrored by their opponents. They get that small lead. If they can out micro time and time again, they can create this compounded effect. And that's exactly what he done so brilliantly well. It's interesting, like Artie brought up the sheep that you mentioned earlier. Artie says, he found no sheep. He had only one hunt, and that was the problem. Yeah, the reason it was a problem is because LucifroN took all the sheep, not just from you, not just from your teammate, but even from his teammate. And honestly, that guy was running around on horseback going, bah, bah, and all the sheep are like, mama? It was absurd. I think he had like 75% of the sheep from that map to himself.
And with that, we are closing in on the losers bracket semifinals. You've just witnessed LucifroN and Angelica taking the set over here, and we already have the other loser bracket quarterfinals done. Beastie and Baywood took down Krakady and Archie, so LucifroN and Angelica will once again make it on your screens, this time around against Beastie and Baywood. We're likely gonna have to wait a couple of minutes for that, because this set has just finished and they're yet to draft.